Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Hold on just a second. Let me put the other earpiece in. Alright, first and foremost, Kahal Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Of course, double honors once again go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who deserve honors. Salutations also go out to the fellow occupants on the highways and byways, preaching His truth throughout the four corners of the world. Alright. Trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect. This is Naaman at the DC camp. And today, I want to discuss Daniel 12:1. I'm sure you've heard us use this scripture as a sign of future things to come. This is what it's going to be like. And of course, the heading to this is the time of the end. It's going to get so bad out here. And we're going to go into some of the history, all right, just to explain how and why these things are going to come to pass. Let's go ahead and read it. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." All right, written in the book of life. All right. So, let's go back to the time of ancient Egypt, where we were under captivity under Pharaoh and the Hamites. All right. Hey, things got pretty bad. It tells you when you go read the book of Exodus how they, well, let's go read it real quick. How they put us under, let's see. Israel increases greatly in Egypt, all right, because we were small when we went there. When we came out, we became, all right, great in numbers, all right. So it gives you that, all right. Pharaoh oppresses Israel. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, if you understand the story of Joseph, all right. Sold by his brothers into captivity, all right. But what happened? The Most High was with him all that time, and he rose up to be number 2 in that kingdom. All right, that's where the Most High put him in charge of, put him in that station. All right, so ultimately, he could help his people. All right, so here it is. It says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. All right, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And it says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. All right, we built them treasure cities. And, this is also applies to every kingdom that we ever been in, including this one. All right. We made those nations great. All right. You've seen from the last president we had, he had those red hats to make America great again. Well, who made it great? There you go. All right, so same applies. So the reason I brought this up, in the mind, all right, or the system, I should say, of white supremacy, all right, you got to understand this devil, this Edomite, this so-called white man, you got to understand white supremacy is the greatest religion ever known. When you understand what religion that word means. Everyone worship at the altar of white supremacy, whether you know it, realize it or not. Yes, you do. All right, he's got this system set up. It's running relatively smooth, well, not as it used to. All right, where he has to do a little maintenance herein, every so often. All right, like a well-oiled machine. All right, and as such, anyone that even looks like him, even though they might be separated by class, all right, they still benefit from the system. They can be living in, I don't know, up in the mountains somewhere, barefoot, whatever, all right, but they still benefit from so-called white supremacy. Okay. Also, you got to realize it's the white supremacists that makes the money, not the other way around. So as such, especially when it comes to the Amalekites, all right, these ones that say they are Jews, all right, that currently occupy the land, they call themselves or refer to themselves as Israelis. They play these word games with you, all right. They run the show. These are also your elite bankers who really want to run the world, but as such, all right, yeah. So my question is, do you think they would willingly give this up? The answer should be a resounding hell no. But they can't help it because they're being pulled out of power. See, the white supremacists, things have value because they say they have value. Like, for instance, diamonds. Well, what the fuck, you know? Some of those shiny rocks. Whoopee, you know? But the scriptures already refer to, well, rubies. All right, you have, every now and then you'll see sapphire, emeralds. But mainly it's gold and silver. All right? And we know since August 15th of 1971, when President Nixon and the Federal Reserve then, all right, they no longer, things weren't backed up. Or everything, the gold standard was dropped. All right? So just print money, print money, print money, print money, print money. All right, you gotta understand this is a debt-based system. So, hey, it's really run its course. They're just keep propping shit up, but now we've come to the time where they have to adjust. And you hear this thing, CBDC, well, central bank digital currency. Everything is going to be changed, but in doing so, oh, little news there. All right, you've had a world that has been dependent on cash for a very, very long, I know this word's physical currency for oh so long. And now you're just going to abruptly, at least in the minds of the people that don't know what the hell's going on, all right, change things up. Wait till they go to the banks, use the ATMs, or even go inside, and they say, well, you know, find out they can't get physical currency, ATM, or like I say, go inside the bank. These people are going to lose their fucking minds, all right? And trust me on this. They've taken all this into consideration. You just don't see. Every now and then you'll hear about, you know, National Guard mobilizing and troops, you know, all that. But, oh no, they got something for you, all right? Because that little, what they called an insurrection, January 6th of 2020, 21, no, okay. That was not an insurrection, all right? That was done on purpose so they could further their agenda, all right? But back to this. I didn't want to get too off track. It's going to get really, really bad out here because, again, this so-called white man system is falling apart. You know, he's trying to rush things through. You're seeing recently with these environmental disasters, we know these things are planned, all right? All the food processing plants that have been destroyed, cattle and, you know, just livestock in general, things being culled or killed off. Most recently with the chickens, they say, well, they had, you know, the bird flu and all that. You know, that's so much bullshit, all right? But a lot of people still believe it, all right? But what's going on here, Bill Gates buying up all the land, farmland. What's going on here is you're having a famine that's being manufactured because he knows, all right, his time is short. He's trying to establish his quote-unquote new world order, all right? Yes, he wants you to be totally dependent on him, all right? It wasn't enough with the system that he's got because, hey, you had all kinds of ways, really, off the books to make money. Well, that's coming to a close, folks, because when this thing goes digital, you're not going to have no privacy whatsoever. They're going to know what you bought, when you bought it, who you bought it for, if that's the case, and the vice versa, who bought things for you. All right, they're going to be able to track you because ultimately they want you to be C-hipped. All right. So, yeah, this is it. But in the meantime, we're out there on the highways and byways trying to tell you, all right, what's coming down. And we use this because it's the same people. When you go back in history, you understand there's a word called subvert or subverter. And these have been subverters, the nation of Edom, of the nation of Israel, all the while. Let's go and take a look at that word. Oh, before I do that, you understand white supremacy, as I said, it was the largest religion ever created. All right. And there's a word called, fancy word called pervasive. All right. And it's just simply means it's everywhere and in everything. Pervasive, it says having a quality or tendency to pervade or permeate. All right. Tending to pervade or having power to spread throughout, of a pervading quality, manifested throughout, all right, affecting everything. Is that not what Edomite / white supremacy does? All right. Let's look at dictionary.com. The corruption is so, yeah, well, that too. Remember, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, let's see. All right. Let's go to, let's see. Yeah, I wanted synonyms. All right, let's see. Dang it. Let's see. Permeate. I already said that. Let's see. I think you get the point. But yeah, there's only so many ways you can say it. Yeah, it's everywhere. You can't escape the influence of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man in this world. You just can't. All right. The point I'm trying to make is, since it's falling apart, what do you think he's going to do? You think he's just going to let it be? And this is expressly, or is for Jacob, because when we talk about Jacob's trouble, you got to remember the wealth gap, as they call it. These Edomites, for the most part, they can afford to, at least for a little while, they can stock up and they can somewhat, for the most part, ride it out, even though things are being drawn out because, hey, this devil knows this, all right? And a lot of them now are living check to check, all right? Those that aren't independently wealthy, all right? And this has been done on purpose, all right? So a lot of them, and you know, this is leading up, of course, to a civil war. But again, this is what they get. These are our enemies. Don't you dare feel sorry for what's coming to these motherfuckers, all right? All right. But like I said, there's another word I wanted, because they have been this to us this whole while. Let me see. Let's see. Oops, hold on. Not that one. Let's see. There it is. Let's see. Yeah, when you go back in history, that first Maccabees, you know, oh crap. Let's see. Alrighty. Whoops. What the hell? Salaki. Alright. Eventually. Hold on. Alright, so. So when we go into the story here, this is recognized as the first time, alright, you have that animosity between Jacob and Esau. So when you had the death of Alexander, this starts, and this is one of the reasons why they took this out, alright, Alexander and his successors, alright, and it happened, and this is the first time the nation of Edom, or anyone from that nation, began to rule over the earth as it was then, alright, came into a position such as this. And it has happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim and smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Okay, I'm going to skip on down. It says, and after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. There's a reference to where he had conquered just, everything that he could, and even wept as a result because there was nothing else to conquer, all right? So he perceived, that he was going to die. He called his servants to his side, his 4 generals. You got Lysimachus, you got Ptolemy, Cassander, all right, and the Seleucus, all right. So, and his servants bear rule. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and died, and his servants bear rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, and did their sons after them many years, and evils multiplied on earth. What they don't tell you here is that these were some your typical Edomites. They would at each other's throats, all right, after Alexander died, of course. And there's a, I got it somewhere here, where Ptolemy, for some reason, there was a relationship between him and Alexander, because it was written that his father, the point I'm trying to make is not sexual or anything like that, homo or anything like that. It was like, I don't know if they were related on some level, but he was pretty much looking out after Alexander, all right, because I don't know if he was a brother on some level. I was never able to understand that part of it, but he did look after him, because there was an instance where after he died, in the funeral procession was hijacked, and because I believe he was buried in a gold sarcophagus, which was encased in other gold, and he got his body back. Yeah, it's a weird story, but yeah, even amongst themselves. So how much more against our people? All right, and then it goes into this devil here, and that's foretold in Daniel. All right, it says, Antiochus Epiphanes IV encourages Greek ways among the Jews. And this is that word I was talking about. It's called subverter. So let's go, because That's what they've always done with our people, subvert us at every chance they get. Let's see. Let's see. So here we go. Subverter, one who subverts, an overthrower. All right. Let's see. Free dictionary. All right. To overthrow or destroy a government or an established order or authority, which, all right, what is our established order or authority or government? Nation of Israel, and we have our own constitution, which is what? The law, statutes, and commandments, right? They're totally, in this next one, it says to undermine, overturn, or render ineffective a rule or an established notion such as a stereotype, for example. Don't they do that? Don't they introduce everything that is contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments? It says to cause to serve a purpose other than the original or established one. Commandeer or redirect. Psalms 50, 16 on down is a prime example. Commandeer or redirect. He pretty much made our book his own. In Psalms 50, well, let's get it real quick. All right. It's pretty much, I'll come back to this. In fact, no, I'll just leave that right there. I don't have to. I'll get another one. Let's see. Let's go to, as soon as it reloads. All right. Psalms 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked, which the Edomites are, the so-called white man, but unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, which he does. Like I said, they are complete contraries. Read Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter. And casteth my words behind them. When you go to court, we always use that. I do anyway. Use the example when you go to the court. What do they have you do before you step up on there on that stand? Please raise your right hand. Place your left hand on the Bible. I do solemnly swear, blah, 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 which you're not supposed to do. All right? You would think they would know this. After you do that, what do? They put the Bible away and they bring out their bullshit. All right? Prime example. All right? So this is what they have done. When you understand that meaning to subvert. This is all, revolution. All right? A revolution or revolutionary whose aim is to reverse the changes introduced by an earlier revolution. That applies to. Oh, boy. This is our enemy, our mortal enemy. And a mortal enemy is someone who's trying to kill you. It even says that in Genesis 27, verse 41. All right? And he's been trying to do that, but on a slick for the most part. All right? But now, that's why I'm bringing up Daniel 12 and 1. Because we've reached a point where he can't use guile. He can't be slick anymore. He's just going to come with it. Because another thing I've often said in my videos, we know for the most, I'm going to say for the most part, because it's some shit we don't know, what he did in his establishing his rule over the earth. We know the many atrocities he committed. My question, therefore, has always been, what do you think he's going to do when he realizes he's losing this? And that is why you should be paying attention to when we say Daniel 12 and 1. All right? It's going to get so bad that the Archangel Michael is going to have to stand up. That should scare you. All right? Yeah, because this motherfucker's losing his shit. Revelation 12th chapter. All right, read it from the top, but I'm going strictly to verse 12. Let's go there real quick, and you'll understand why this verse is so important. All right, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, all right, to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, all right, we know devil means liar and deceiver. It's talking about a man, all right, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He's on a clock. All right, he knows this. Job 14 and 5. Let's get that real quick. All right. This is Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, all right, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All right. Let's go to the next chapter. All right, 15. All right. This is Job 15 and 20. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. Why? 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. What's that dreadful sound? In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. All right. And you get to understand that in Job 20th chapter. All right. He's, again, acquired all this wealth. All right. But we know from Habakkuk 2nd chapter, verse 4, the soul that is within him is not upright. He was created to be the wicked, and the wicked he shall be. All right. And he knows he's losing. So he's going to be as destructive as he can. Why? Because ultimately, he knows who's coming up next. And that's Jake. That's us. All right. So he's had his fun in the sun. But it's coming to an end. All right. And we get into this, you know, you often hear Jake talking about the black dollar and all this. And knowing what we know, you have to, you know, it's never going to work. Remember I said about white supremacy being as pervasive. You know, it's in everything. You think he's going to allow you? That's another aspect of white supremacy our people don't consider. This man, under the umbrella of white supremacy, this motherfucker is money. He makes the money, not the other way around. All right. So, if I'm really good at it, I can piece off, you know, make Jake so rich that he thinks he's actually a king when he's not. And they standing back laughing at you. But see, that's that, you know, our people just don't get it. They don't understand it. That's like, you know, you're a lot of our people are in awe with some of these celebrities, not realizing that this was all set up. All right. For your benefit, that you would have something to aspire to, even though you know you're not going to reach that. But look at all the things that you're doing in the meantime. What? You're playing right into my hands all along. So he'll set up, Jake, you know, I like to use the mental picture of, you know, the old stores where they had the mannequins in the window. You'd be on the street walking by, and, you know, sometimes they'd be spinning around, you know, they have the clothes and everything, and you might stand there and just, oh man, damn, man, you know, that's these celebrities, these Jake celebrities, and, you know, they parade in front, you know, and that's the effect that it has on Jake. Oh man, it must be something wrong with me, and now you're doing all kinds of dumb shit, you know, because under this system, all right, you have to understand, we are the enemy, all right? So here you are doing something stupid, and you end up getting 99 or whatever, many years, and you'll never see the light of day again, All right, gotcha. All right. They'll even, under white supremacy, they'll even, to keep the illusion going, they'll even sacrifice their own people. And you're seeing more of them being sacrificed because a lot of them, because of what's coming down the pipe, they're losing their homes, and you're seeing a lot more of them homeless. All right. Now all of a sudden there's a problem with homelessness because now a lot of them, as in everything else, you know, it's never a problem until their people are affected by it. All right. But the warning still goes. And, you know, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, you know, that 2/3 got to go. A lot of our people are not going to get it. All right. That's just the way it is. All right. And we, you know, me personally, I'm just looking at this like, yes, please, hurry up. You know, because a lot of people were like, well, you know, don't you wish that things would get better? How? How is it going to be better for us? And then you got to pop the question back to them. Do you really want to keep seeing your people suffer like this? You know, you may have those hardcore, well, I got mine, they got to get theirs. That motherfucker, leave him alone. He's in for a very rude awakening. All right. Hey, so that's about that on this. That's all I had to say on this. Just, you know, I didn't intend for it to go this long, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, Daniel 12:1. Woof. That's one hell of a scary verse, and it should be. It should be. All right. Because a lot of our people, unfortunately, have had things so, you know, sugar-coated, especially those so-called Christians in these bullshit-ass churches. But they got theirs coming, all right? And can't wait to see the look on their face. Hey, didn't that guy you go to every Sunday, didn't he tell you what these things are going to happen? Isn't he supposed to be a prophet? Mm-hmm. You even got some people that know they're Israelites. Certain groups, you know, they're misleading their flock. You know, hey, woe be to them. Hey, so until the next video, hey, shalom.